Hello everyone, it's Thursday, April the 14th, and welcome back. And have I got some exciting news for you. Today is a super big day and it's going to go down in history. I've reported in previous videos about Elon Musk buying up stock in Twitter and being offered a seat on the board. And I told you that they would cap off the max that he could own if he took that board seat. So on the day that he was to be confirmed as part of the board, he saw what was going on in the inner workings and he decided to reject that seat. Now, many people thought, well, he's just walked away, but we knew what he was dealing with behind the scenes. So I want to tell you what is going on and what has happened today so that you're all aware of it and we can all follow this story. So let's get into it. Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter, buy them outright as a private company. There's my disclaimer. Now let me get into the breaking stories. So the New York Times said Elon Musk makes an offer to buy Twitter. Live updates. Here we go. Fox News, Elon Musk teases plan B if Twitter offer is rejected. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a plan B. So Associated Polls, or AP, Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter, make it maximally trusted. We know that Twitter has says that its algorithms monitors our speech and takes certain people down off Twitter, like Yankee Wally and other people that have lost their Twitter accounts. And it's not fair. I've got friends who lost theirs, and really all they did was state their opinions on things, and they weren't harming anybody. They weren't hate accounts. They were just using it as free speech platforms. So in 10 days, Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, has gone from popular Twitter contributor and critic to the company's largest individual shareholder to a would-be owner of the social platform. A whirlwind of activity that could change the service dramatically given the sometimes whimsical billionaire's self-identification as a free speech absolutionist. Twitter revealed in security filings Thursday that Musk has offered to buy the company outright for, and we know he's just spent $30 billion, an additional $43 billion, saying that the social media platform needs to be transformed as a private company in order to build trust with its users. I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy, Musk said in the filing. I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. He knows. He saw the backlash. He saw that Silicon Valley and the California is left-leaning, and they are part of the woke society. They believe that if you either believe have the same ideology as them, but if your ideology differs, then you're wrong, and that's misinformation. That's the same thing that PrinceHarry does, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to silence us because we don't agree with him, and there's a lot of people out there that do, and we have to make sure that doesn't happen. And God bless Elon Musk. I'm telling you, I'm just floating on air today. So let me continue. Later in the day, during an onstage interview at the TED 2022 conference, he went even broader. Having a public platform is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization. Then we have Musk makes a $43 billion offer Twitter to build arena for free speech. So it says that the social media company, Twitter, is evaluating Musk's offer. Now, they were calling everybody in. And you heard about 8 or 9 days ago when he bought up this 9.2% of the shares of Twitter. You saw tweets, or I did, all over the place where people within the company were like, if he comes in, we're jumping ship. We don't agree with him. We should have a right to censor people the way we want. Well, no, they censor people in the wrong way if we don't agree with them. Musk hints as hostile bid bypassing Twitter's board. April the 14th, today, Rutgers. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk took aim at Twitter with a $43 million bid cash takeover offer today, with the Tesla CEO saying the social media company needs to be taken private to grow and become a platform of free speech. Guys, this man, to me, he is smarter than Bill Gates, than and the Amazon guy. His name escapes me right now, but I'm telling you, this guy is brilliant. And I personally invest in his companies, and I haven't invested in Twitter, and I've watched the stock dropped since he bought up these shares, but that's just because it's scaring the left. The left doesn't like anybody coming in telling them what to do. They want to keep on doing the things the way they do them. But anyway, Musk made the bid Wednesday in a letter to the board of Twitter, the microblogging platform that has become a global means of communication for individuals and world leaders. Well, we know they took Trump down, but the Ayatollah's still on there. We know that jihad extremists are still on there. It's not about what they're using, and it's not the algorithms that's catching these things and banning certain people. It's the people sitting behind the computers that read our tweets, that don't agree with what we're saying, and then they want to say that we're banned because that we're breaking their community guidelines. That's not the case. Many people break the community guidelines, but it's because we don't believe the same. So his offer price of $54.20 per share represents a 38% premium to Twitter's April 1st close. Of course, he knew it was going to drop. And this is why he didn't take the seat on the board. As I told you guys, I said, he's not going to let them cap off what he's taken. He's going to wait, and I think he's going to eventually buy the whole thing out. And that's what he's trying to do. So the social media platform was made public. Musk, the world's richest person, with a 273.6 billion fortune, according to Forbes tally, rejected an invitation to join Twitter's board on Saturday after disclosing his stake. A move, analysis said, signaled his takeover intentions, as a board seat would have limited his shareholding to just under 15%. Yes, it was 14 point something. So he thought, no, it was the day he was going to be confirmed in on the board. And he thought, wait, hold up. The man is brilliant. He thought, no, that's going to limit me, and I know nobody's going to want to make changes, and I can't help free speech if I'm limited into my vote. So Musk, after his TED Talk, hinted at the possibility of this hostile bid, which he would bypass Twitter's board and put the offer directly in his shareholders' tweeting. It would be utterly indefensible not to put this offer to a shareholder vote. So, they wanted to outright say no, but he knows how this works. That if you get a huge offer like that to a company, and you have public shares on the stock market, if you don't put it to a vote to your shareholders, then he knows they would be in trouble, because everybody would be like, wait, it should be what's best for its investors. He understands what it is to make money, and it's not about him, but he knows that they can't just turn down his offer. So Twitter was evaluating the offer with guidance from Goldman Sachs and Wilson Goodrich and Rosati, according to a source. The company is also preparing a poison pill as a protective measure against Musk raising his stake as early as Friday, the source said. So, shares of Twitter fell 2% in the afternoon trading. Investors were not immediately convinced. So, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid bin Talid tweeted from his verified Twitter account about the deal. Now, this guy is a criminal arms. He is also a known pedo. This guy is involved in Saudi Arabia as child trafficking. And I'm going to just say allegedly, because I don't have time to look up the stuff for him, but describing himself as one of the largest and long-term shareholders of Twitter. He said Musk's offer undervalued the company, and he rejected it. Well, that's his right to do that, but he's not undervaluating it. He's telling you what it's actually worth, because he knows more and more people are going to leave Twitter, and it's not doing what it says that it set out to do. Company employees, some of whom had panicked, and people were jumping ship already, over Musk's impact on its ability to moderate content, were expected to attend a Twitter all-hands meeting later on today. And I think that was supposed to take place at 1 o'clock, or that was the investors' discussed the news, one source told Reuters. Musk said U.S. investment banks Morgan Stanley, hi Pearl, was acting as financial advisor for his offer. He did not say how he would finance the transaction if it goes ahead, but told the TED Talk audience he had sufficient assets, and that's without saying more. So, this is what I posted on my community tab. You can see it was 8 days ago, and I said my new hero for advocating for free speech. He purchased $3 billion in Twitter stock and now owns 9.2% of Twitter stock, while Jack Dorsey owns under 3%. Elon, thank you for standing up against the left, and that means the Democrats, the woke, the liberals who want to shut us down. You're my hero. And I sent this out, and you've seen the videos that I've done. But Elon Musk, may the odds ever be in your favor. And I am praying, and I hope everybody will pray for this man to be able to get the deal done so that he can bring free speech back without these left liberals telling us what we're allowed to say and not allowed to say, because we don't agree with him. So just pray that this man has the insight, that we know he has the means, but that he can get this deal done. But I talked to you earlier about a plan B. So let me tell you what that is. If they reject this offer, he's already said he may come back with something else, another offer. But if they reject it, here's the plan B, Gab. So Gab.com offers to Elon Musk today. This is all happening today, people. This morning, Elon Musk sent Twitter board an offer to buy the entire company for $40 billion. As I wrote last week, and this is from the Gab owner, and he's a good Christian man, and so is Elon. Anything that explicably has the aim of bringing more free speech to the internet for more people, it's a good thing. Twitter has legacy problems that Gab doesn't. They are fully dependent on third-party infrastructure, and we're not. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but during the election and when they were taken down, and after they took down Trump and all, Gab had to use the infrastructures from some of these other social platforms. So what did they do? They took Gab down as a company because Gab was advertising people to come over because they believed in free speech. So they thought, we're just going to shut your infrastructure down, and then you won't have web hosted, and so you can't exist anymore. So they have slowly found investors to go back to build it back up, to create their own infrastructure inside so that they don't have to rely on those other social media platforms that censor free speech. So we built our own everything: hosting, email services, analytic tools, e-commerce, payment process, and all of it. We built it all. They had to do it from the ground up from last January. You also have to consider that bringing free speech to Twitter isn't as simple as buying it. He understands that. Now, let me tell you the two other left Silicon Valley people that are trying to get into it. Apple and Google do not allow free speech. We know that, people. We get it. They're all left-leaning woke. So if you stop the censorship, they will kick Twitter from both app stores. We already solved that problem, and we overcame it. Twitter operates in countries where mass censorship is required by law. They have offices in these countries. They have no choice but to comply with the censorship demands of these countries or risk being shut down, fines, etc. We understand this very well, and we've dealt with it. They've had to learn about all of this in the last year, telling those countries, get lost, we don't need it. Then there is the problem of Twitter's community itself. It skews massively left and thus anti-free speech. If you allow free speech on Twitter again, those people are absolutely going to leave because their fragile worldview can't handle the reality that free speech brings. So Gab owner is saying to Elon, okay, even if you do buy it, you're still going to have all those people that are going to jump ship. Stock prices are going to fall. But guess what? Everybody that's for free speech will go back. But they'll probably end up going back or staying. They're not going to lose them all. But he's saying, just remember, this is a problem that you could encounter if the buyout does go forward. So another problem Twitter has is that we don't. total dependency on ad dollars. Gab's business model is not 100% dependent on advertising. We have several other revenue streams, including Gab Pro, the Gab Shop, and Gab Pay, our payment processor. Now, Gab is free, everybody. I use it as well. As a good friend pointed out rightfully to me this morning, I highly doubt they will accept his offer, talking about Elon's. They would rather shares go to zero than accept that they will sabotage internally, and to whatever degree he makes good changes, Twitter will get the Gab treatment from the global homo. Now, what he's saying is, even if you do get it and you go through, they're going to do everything they can, Elon, to sabotage Twitter. All right, so he's about to make him an offer, and he's just telling him, which I know Elon Musk knows all of this. In light of these truths, I'd like to offer Elon a counteroffer to his very expensive, overpriced Twitter deal. Elon, and he wrote this directly to him on his Gab account. I founded Gab in 2016 because I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning constitutional federal republic. However, since founding Gab, I realized that in order to provide a free speech platform, you must also have free speech internet infrastructure. Gab now has since transformed from merely a social network into a free speech internet infrastructure company. We built our own servers, our own email services, our own payment processor, and so much more, not because we wanted to, but because we had no choice if we were going to continue to exist. And I mean, these people went down, boom, like that. They weren't given any forewarning. They just thought, nah, let's just take them all down. Because it was right before the election, and they didn't want anybody saying anything bad about Joe Biden. And they, just like they and the left-leaning mainstream media didn't put anything out in the news about Hunter Biden's laptop and his ties to China and the Ukraine, and his father was the big guy, quote unquote. What we are missing in the moment is an ISP. Well, we know Elon can help this problem. I fear that the next big leap of censorship is at the ISP level, with ISPs blocking access to Gab.com. You solved that problem with Starlink, and Starlink is owned by Elon Musk. He's got the SpaceX, he has the Starlink, he has Tesla. Together we can build infrastructure for a free speech internet. And guys, this not only affects us YouTubers, this affects everyone that goes on social media. It affects what you read in your newspaper, what you turn on the news, and what you see reported. Because if we don't get free speech out there, we're only going to believe what a certain number of people or group believe. And that's all we're going to be able to see. Most people just watch mainstream media and don't realize that's only one side of the story, and a lot of times it's the true misinformation. I am willing to offer you a board seat along with equity in the company in exchange for you selling your Twitter position and investing only $2 billion into Gab. So instead of $40 billion, all he would have to pay is $2 billion. My offer is my best and final offer. Gab has extraordinary potential. Let's unlock it together. And it's signed Andrew Torba, CEO, Gab.com. Jesus Christ is King. And it's published on his Gab page. So Andrew Torba, the owner of Gab, has made a counteroffer to Elon Musk that if it doesn't go through, or if he decides not to go, pull his offer, then he can come over to Gab. And this is something else from Mr. Torba. Free speech is last hope, is Gab. Thoughts on Elon and Twitter. Big tech will not undermine the alt-tech movement, which is him. You must censor people we disagree with, and that's the left. That's all the Google, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Apple, all of those people. And sometimes it's Getter. And But that's what they do. So what he says right there is no. Andrew Torba, Gab.com CEO. You must censor people we disagree with. No. he doesn't agree with it, and he's not going to let this happen. So, guys, tell me what you think about this video. Please, everybody, just send up some positive thoughts, good vibes, prayers, if you're a praying person, that whatever is in the best interest of free speech around this is around the world. This is going to affect everybody globally, that it takes place, because as my thumbnail shows, censorship, free speech, that's all of these people on the left. We need freedom of expression. This is a fight, people, between good and evil. We need our free speech, and let's not let the woke win, because we know the woke want to take away Christianity. They have their own ideology of belief, and they're trying to normalize us to what they do to make it seem okay, like with the critical race theory, putting it in our schools and having children read just awful, vile, pornographic type materials that you would never go and buy in a bookstore for your child. But that's what they're trying to sneak in. So they're trying to take away people's belief in our Heavenly Father. I don't care what religion you are, whatever you believe in is your higher power. I don't care if it's Mother Earth or whatever it is. But don't let the bad people take over. We need this. So let's be in the fight, and let's support Elon Musk. And I know I'm going to be buying stock in wherever he ends up going, because it's going to do nothing but flourish, because the man is a genius. He's a Christian man, and he's my hero right now. So thank you all, and I will keep you updated. Please flood those comments and let me know what you think. Give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, guys. Show me that you support me and help me get the word out to more people. Have a great